Hello, June the 9th today, and here is a story going way back to ancient Rome and the Emperor Nero, or Nero Claudius Caesar Augustus. His full name, he was born in the year 37 AD, and he was adopted by his great uncle Emperor Claudius, and indeed he became his heir and successor. During the early years of his reign, his mother dominated Nero's life, and indeed his decisions. But he cast her off and indeed had her executed 5 years into his reign. As the time passed, he became more active and independent in his role in government and foreign policy. Under his generals, the Roman Empire expanded, and Nero focused more of his attention on diplomacy, trade, and the cultural life of the empire, ordering theatres to be built and promoting the games. He made public appearances himself as poet and actor, musician, and even charioteer. He was extravagant. The empire-wide program of public and private works had to be funded by taxes, which was resented by the upper classes. But it seems that he was quite popular amongst the lower classes of Rome. And of course, he provided them with bread and the games to keep them satisfied and keep their minds off more serious things. There were various plots on his life, but he had the ringleaders, most of them his own courtiers, rounded up and executed. Nero's rule is generally associated with tyranny and extravagance, and most Roman historians overwhelmingly assess his reign as negative, that he was compulsive, tyrannical, violent, and corrupt. In the year 64, a great fire started in Rome. One Roman historian, Suetonius, believed that the Great Fire, in fact, was started by Nero himself to clear a way for a great project of his, the Domus Aurea, the Golden House, for that to be built. According to another Roman historian, Nero seized on the opportunity to blame the Christians for the fire, and they were, many of them, rounded up and burnt alive, seemingly motivated by personal cruelty of Nero himself. And straight away he, by public proclamation, passed a law banning Christianity to be practiced, and thus began 3 centuries of persecution against the Christians. And to this day, Christians are persecuted for their faith across the world. It is a commonly held belief that the most persecuted religion in the world is Christianity. And today, in countries such as China, Myanmar, otherwise known as the old days Burma, Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, Philippines, North Korea in the east, in the Middle East, Syria, Iran, Iraq, in Africa, Central African Republic, Nigeria, Egypt, Sudan, Morocco, Eritrea, and elsewhere, Christians are regularly detained, churches are destroyed or closed, severe limits are imposed on Christian worship, teaching, and evangelization. There is the displacement of peoples and families, there is torture, and there are executions and massacres. One American journalist, John Allen, after his research, estimates that the number of Christians killed between the year 2000 and 2016 is 1 million. Our brothers and sisters massacred for their faith in Jesus Christ. May their sacrifice inspire us to greater love of God and neighbor. The Roman Emperor Nero died in the year 68 AD, 1952 years ago on this day.